It is human nature to see wondrous things with such regularity that we tend to regard them as commonplace, and we find ourselves taking for granted that which we should find glorious. Perhaps it would help to pause and reflect on how our lives would be different if we suddenly lost our ability to enjoy life's abundant, simple pleasures, like losing ourselves in the delicate artistry of a rose or the breathtaking beauty of a sunset.
When I was about 18, I noticed that my eyesight was deteriorating, and at that time I was diagnosed with a condition called keratoconus, which means that my corneas were cone-shaped instead of a normal smooth curve. Didn't bother me through high school, through college, through general surgery training, through transplant training. I wore contacts for vision correction. And about 10 years ago, I noticed complications from keratoconus, which caused my vision to deteriorate. Started wearing contacts and glasses, and ultimately had my left eye done. Then about 10 months later, I had my right eye done. I had bilateral corneal transplants. And as a result of those transplants, I've been able to continue doing what I love to do, which is liver, kidney, and pancreas transplantation. And it's ironic, I think, again, too, that the transplanter got transplanted, but because two families said yes to corneal donation, all of my patients get their transplants, and I get to continue doing hundreds of transplants a year and hopefully benefiting people and saving lives.
The gift of sight connects us to the mundane as well as the majestic moments in life, and paints an endless canvas of experiences that define our mortal sojourn and meld our collective memories.
As she grew up, she danced for 11 years. She was very athletic. She played basketball, she played baseball, she was an excellent swimmer. She was an honor roll student in high school. She wanted to be a physical therapist when she grew up. She wanted to perform physical therapy on children. Sonia died in an auto accident on her way to school. It was about 7:30 in the morning, and the troopers came to my office about 1:30 that day, and I had to identify her as my child. That is the hardest thing I've ever done, and it's the hardest thing I will ever do. She was my only child. And to look at this man and to see my daughter literally through his eyes, it's a blessing. It's a blessing, and I continue to be so proud of her because not only has she given sight to two people, she has made other people organ donors.
Losing the ability to see is crippling and frightening. But thankfully, each year in the United States, more than 50,000 people have their sight restored through cornea transplantation, and hundreds of thousands are helped through important research to find cures for other blinding diseases. Cornea transplantation is made possible when an individual decides to give the gift of life by passing on their corneas when they pass through the veil of mortality. Happily, over 90% of all corneal transplant operations successfully restore the recipient's vision.
I've been an organ donor ever since I had my driver's license. And we talked when she first started driving. That's one of the things that we talked about. I explained to her what the red heart meant, why it was there. And when I took her to get her driver's license, she just automatically signed up because she knew it was the right thing to do.
I will ask my patients that I'm evaluating for transplant if there is a heart on their driver's license. And many of them say no. And so I try to go through the reasoning that it would be appropriate to have a heart on their driver's license, and then I ask them to look at my eyes and see what they think. And they say, well, you got pretty blue eyes. Well, I say, thank you, but these are somebody else's corneas that have been donated to me so that I can do your kidney or liver or pancreas transplant when the time comes. When you win the lottery and you get your organ, I can do it for you.
Becoming an eye and organ donor can be one of the most important decisions you will make in your life. And we at the North Carolina Eye Bank sincerely hope that you will choose to become an eye donor. Your decision to become a donor can mean sight for someone struggling with vision-impairing eye diseases. and offer a new lease on life for someone who had lost hope. For some, the decision to become a donor can be an emotional one, as end-of-life options are necessarily considered, particularly in cases of terminal illness. But the ability to dramatically and positively impact another human being's quality of life can also be a powerful source of peace and comfort for both the donor and their family.
We find from donor families that they get a great deal of emotional relief from donation because they feel like a part of their loved one is able to live on even after their death. It's kind of like the loved one's heart reaching out from the grave to ensure that somebody who's left here on earth can benefit from their death.
Do I feel like I'm living for two people when I go through my day-to-day activities? Absolutely. I mean, especially when I met Sonia's dad, and he shook my hand, and he looked me in the eye, and he says, our daughter lives in you now.
I'd just like to say to all donor families, thank you.
Most people qualify to donate corneas, including those who wear glasses or even those who have battled cancer. Choose to give the gift of life by becoming an organ donor today, and share your decision with your loved ones so they can carry out your wishes when you're gone. And on behalf of those you will never see, but who will see because of your gift, we thank you.